Chronically Plan, the podcast that empowers chronic illness warriors to take control of their lives through faith, intentional planning, and execution. I'm your host, Shedrica, and in this space, we're not just surviving, we're learning how to live well on purpose. So let's get into it. Hey, friend. I hope you've been taking care of yourself. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you've been listening, then you already know we've been in a season of realignment, talking about how we shift from burnout to balance, from survival to something softer. Because I'm trying to be in my soft lady era, you know? And today's episode, it's one that's been sitting on my heart for a minute. So grab your tea or your planner or just cozy up in bed while you listen. Because we're going to talk about something that every woman experiences, but hardly anyone teaches us how to honor. Our cycle. So last month, I had this whole week planned out. Like, I had it together. The planner was cute. I had my stickers, my tasks checked off, podcast content outline, kids on a routine, grocery stocks. I really thought I was that girl last week, okay? And then my period hit. And not the kind where you can push through. I'm talking lupus flare, hormone hijack, migraines. I don't want to talk to nobody type of week. In that moment, I had to look at my schedule and just shut it down. Everything I planned, recordings, graphics, captions, product work, it all had to wait. I be feeling guilty, I be trying to, do it all. I started spiraling. I started thinking I should have prepared better. I should have been ahead. Maybe I'm not just disciplined enough. But then God checked me and it was like he whispered, what if nothing is wrong with you? What if your body is just doing exactly what it's supposed to do? That question changed everything because the truth is our bodies aren't the same every week. Our energy changes, our motivation changes, our emotions change. And yet we plan like we're robots, like we're supposed to show up every day the same way, regardless of what phase we're in, what pain we're in, what season we're in. So I started researching, learning, praying, listening to my own patterns, and eventually I started building my routines around my body and not against it. And one thing that happened to me last week in therapy, it was so interesting because I have been highly stressed. And like you know already, if you're not new, that I've been navigating this whole functional depression thing. And we were just talking about how stressed I am. And one of the things that we did for the first time was some type of meditation, meditation practice. And it was weird because one of the things that I was asked to do was to be still and be quiet and just calm myself. And in the middle of it, I was like, hey, can I say something? And he was like, no, just go with it. And I was like, oh, and I'm just sitting there trying to be still and be quiet. And then I took a deep breath and I was still and I was quiet. And I just kept thinking to myself, this feels so good. It feels good to be still and to be quiet. And at the same time, it made me think about my toddler on how we always tell our children, be still, be quiet. And I was thinking wow, that must be such a struggle for her because this sure is a struggle for me to sit here, be still, be quiet. And I think about all the things I got to do when I get out of here, what somebody done did to me to make me mad or irritate me, get on my nerves, wow. I don't know. That was just a random teaching moment in my therapy session last week. And it just let me know that the busyness and the reason why I'm so stressed and overwhelmed is because I don't really be still enough. And a part of that comes with really giving yourself some love. So I just want to throw that out there. If you haven't done anything for yourself today, this week, this month, or even within this year, be still, be quiet. Okay, moving on. Now, this isn't about being perfect or following some strict feminine routine. This is all about noticing your rhythm. It's about planning your week with self-awareness and softness and not shame. So let's walk through the 4 phases of menstrual cycle, and I'll share with what I so let's walk through the 4 phases of the menstrual cycle, and I'll share what each one feels like for me and how I adjust my schedule and how I check in with God during each one. Okay. For the context, I'm currently in my lethal phase, the part where energy is slowing down and emotions are rising because I can be emotional. So everything I'm sharing today is fresh, not filtered. The menstrual phase, which is our body resetting, right? This is the week when your period starts. Your hormones are at their lowest, energy is low, emotions can feel heavy, and your body is literally shedding and releasing. This is not the time to launch. This is not the time to do 500 things. This is the time to be still. What this looks like for me, I cancel my meetings. I do a lot of writing, voice journaling, or prayer walks if my body allows it. I don't force productivity. I let myself feel everything. I often write down the things I need to release, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. Prayer I speak during this time, God help me release what I've been holding on to. Give me rest that restores, not rest that shames me. So I don't want to feel guilty about having to slow down and not post that much on Instagram and TikTok. Like, give me room to breathe, okay? Then the follicle phase, the fresh start. This is right after your period ends. It's like your inner spring, since spring is here now and we cleaning and we getting things together, your energy is coming back slowly. And you feel more open to new ideas. You're ready to move again, even if it's gently. So I use this time to draft product ideas, podcast ideas, outline episodes, just brainstorm new content. I declutter or reset my space so I feel refreshed, which I just did. Got me a new little L-shaped desk so I can, do my podcast and stuff and still be able to plan in my planner and start recording that content. And then I plan light routines that ease me back in, not force me to catch up. So that's like, brushing my teeth at night, y'all. I know that might sound weird or nasty, but I just don't have that habit. So just slowly getting into that and remembering to take my antidepressants, that's a new thing. Just do that, okay? I'm just starting small in this phase, and starting small is very powerful because it still is being done, you know? So I asked myself in this time, God, what are you inviting me to begin? And how can I do this without rushing it? Because when I start feeling rushed, I don't even want to do it. So the next phase is the ovulation phase. This is the show up season. This week, I was showing up. I was creating stuff. I was being creative. I was doing stuff. So this phase is short, but it's powerful. You feel vibrant, social, more confident, more magnetic. And this is your time to show up publicly, to speak, share, pitch, or teach. What this looks like for me, I record podcast intros, I host planning calls, or I take interviews, I make videos, I send emails for collaborations. I also talk about my services more clearly and with clarity because my brain is because my brain is sharper. But I stay prayed up because performance can sneak in here. And I always check myself with this prayer. God, help me show up from a place of purpose, not performance. And let your presence go before me. That's very soft lady. On the lethal phase, which is the wind down phase, and this is where I am right now. This phase leads up to your period, and it comes with sensitivity, fatigue, and that quiet nudge to slow down. Like you're doing too much, girl. How I'm moving right now in this phase, I've been behind the scenes. I've been organizing, like I said, cleaning up my Canva, tying up loose ends. Editing right now is what I do because, it's real slow. I'm not having to record. I can just edit. I'm not posting that much, but I'm okay with that. I built in margins into my days to just breathe. And Riley girl, y'all girl, she just started daycare this week. So, ooh, I'm happy I'm able to just breathe without I need a snack every 5 minutes. And then I lean heavy on my planner and I even heavier in my prayer. This is a great time to finish things, not start things, to reflect, not react, to soften, not to strive. And in this time, I'm asking God to help me trust the timing, help me be okay with moving slow because I'm having some technical difficulties with my email and it's on me. But instead of just doing too much, I just ask God to remind me that my value isn't based on how much I'm doing and that it's going to be okay. So if this conversation is speaking to you, I created simple resources that walk you through everything I just shared in a way that's easy to use and easy to stick to. It's called the Plan with Your Body Starter Pack. It's a set of printable worksheets to help you map out your month based on your energy, your season, and your needs. You can grab that at lupuspeaks.org and it's linked in the show notes. Start planning from grace, not guilt. And if you've been sitting on an idea, whether that's a podcast, a product, a digital product, or offer, and you want support that honors your health and your flow, I got you. I opened up a few spots for my chronically planned creative studio services. This is a space where you can book a power hour, get clarity, and build your brand without burnout and all that crazy stuff. Or just turn your wheels with somebody else that understands what you may be trying to do, and I can, make it happen. It's light, it's flexible, but it's built for real life. So check out the show notes or at lupuspeaks.org. Before we go, I just want to remind you, you are not inconsistent, you are not behind, and baby, you are not broken. You are just learning to move with your own rhythm, and that takes time. With lupus, that takes time. It took me years, pretty much a decade of having lupus before I started really even getting into the cycle of planning, let alone around my cycle. So give yourself grace and time to figure it out. And if this episode blessed you, share it. Tag me at Lupus Speaks. Let's spread this message to other women who need it. Planning with your body isn't selfish, it's sacred. And you deserve to feel supported in your own life. I'm rooting for you always. And until next time, stay grounded, stay gentle, and stay open to flow. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode of the Lupus Speaks podcast. I hope you found some inspiration, encouragement, and a few loopy gems to carry with you on your journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other lupus warriors who might need to hear this. And remember, you don't have to walk this path alone. We're building an incredible community here, so follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lupus Speaks, or check out lupuspeaks.org for more ways to connect and get involved. And until next time, peace and be intentional.